here in this beautiful older adult center, and we've been doing this. Is number what?
25.
Number 25 and 30 or 40 town halls we've done. 25 we do specifically to our older adults instead of the town hall, so folks can come out and ask questions. I want to hear directly from you, unfiltered, just what's on your mind and what's your thoughts. And I just want us to just go back to January 1st, 2021, or 2022, when I was first elected. We had COVID throughout the city. Gun violence was up. We had the overproliferation of guns. Unemployment was up. Black and brown unemployment was 4 times the rates of white. We were having mothers dying from pregnancy-related illnesses. Black women were 4 times the rate as white women to die from giving birth. Our children were not learning at the capacity that they deserve. No one wanted to be on our subway system. I had COVID. Then 237,000 migrants and asylum seekers came into the city. People were stopping me on the street and say, Eric, what are you doing to us? I could not stop the buses from coming in. It was against federal law. I could not allow them to work. A group of them came to me and said they want to remove graffiti, clean streets. They just want to do something. The federal government said you can't do that either. I had to feed, house, and clothe and educate 50,000 children. And not one child or family slept on the street because we showed them with dignity. And no matter how much we attempted to get assistance, we didn't get any assistance, but we did it anyway, the hard way. More jobs in New York in the history of the city. More small businesses are operating in the history of the city. The last 6 months, we had the lowest number of shootings and homicides in a recorded history of the city. Recorded history of the city. And I'm going to be real honest with you folks. I have gone through some stuff in my days, from growing up with learning disabilities to living on the verge of homelessness to having mommy work 3 jobs to make sure she could make ends meet, to being shot at when I was a sergeant in the police department. I've gone through some stuff. But the last 15 months have been the hardest 15 months of my entire life. My entire life. And there was moments, during difficult times, I used to always go and sit. Mommy used to have this little chair by the window, and I would sit down and just talk to her. Because Mommy had 6 kids, and she loved them all, but she loved and adored me. Mommy transitioned when I was on the campaign trail. And when the federal government came after me, I didn't have Mommy to talk to. And let me tell you something. Some of you who have children, there were days I didn't want to get up out of bed. But I had a city to run. And I was committed to running this city. And I would hear her voice say, baby, you get up. You get up. And I know some people would say, well, you know what? If you didn't do anything wrong, why did the federal government came after you? Ask Malcolm that. Ask Dr. King that. Ask the NAACP that. Go look and see what COINTELPRO was. Go look at the history of what happens when you have a black man that decides he's going to fight for what is right. I was fighting for what was right in 100 Blacks in Law Enforcement Who Care. I was fighting for what was right when I came into this office, and it was wrong what was happening to us. And President Biden, I consider to be a friend. I coined myself the Biden of Brooklyn. But what his administration did to the city of New York was wrong. And people say, well, you are now under the thumb of President Trump. Let's deal with the facts. We took this administration to court more than any mayor in the entire country. My job is to deliver for New York. And when I disagree with the president, I'm going to point out I disagree. But when I needed him to bring back that 1,400 union jobs in Sunset Park, and I went to D.C. and explained to him, this is a multi-billion-dollar project. He said, let me look into it, Eric, and he uplifted the stop work order, and those jobs are back in Sunset Park because of that. That's what mayors are supposed to do. We're supposed to go speak to president. I'm the mayor of the biggest city in New York. That's what I'm going to do. And let me tell you something else that a lot of people don't realize. Go back and look at Election Day. When I walked out of the polling place, they put the camera in my face and they said, who did you vote for? I said, VP Harris. Go find out who Mamdani voted for. Wasn't VP Harris. Yep. So he's asking everyone to surround the Democratic nominee. Yep. Who was the Democratic nominee for president? VP Harris. Truth hurt, but it set us free. So we want to hear this amazing team that I have here that really did their job and will continue to do their job. We want to hear from you, ask your questions. I'm going to answer it with the same level of candid conversation that I've always had. And I'm in this race to the end. I told everyone, I love East New York, but I'm from Brownsville, never run, and never will. So let's open the floor to some questions. Look at you with your $1 million hat.
You go into the left, Mr. Mayor.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for coming. My name is Audrey Green. Our question from this table is, how can we reopen the even education program, the training program at South Shore High School, so that we can provide training for the youngest generation?
I love that. I love that a lot. We do. Do we have DYC?
DYC is right here.
Talk about the CRED program that we're doing. I believe strongly in that. We have a couple of amazing programs that we're doing, not only for children who are doing well, but children who are formerly incarcerated as well. So can we talk about the CRED program, the program we're doing with what's that class? The commercial licenses class.
Thank you.
You go ahead. You add on.
Can I just add one more comment to the suggestion we're coming up from this table? The ladies here, we're willing to provide training from the skills that we have to these younger kids.
Love it.
So,
love it.
Whenever, and we're hoping it will be soon, you can call on us and we'll be, we'll be there.
Love it. So let's make sure we want to get your contact, number. I love that. And we need more of that. We don't, because we may have retired doesn't mean we have to retire our skills. I love that. Yes.
Just very briefly, and I will stop over there before this is over. Before the mayor came and I made the announcement about the different programs under our banner, I said there's a wide array of anti-gun violence programming at DYCD. I also mentioned we have literacy programs. So between our after-school, our adult literacy, and the anti-gun violence program, the mayor mentions CRED, which is really focused on practical work opportunities for those that are at risk. We want to change trajectories and we want to reduce the violence over time. So I'm happy to sit down with you. We'll look and see what's in this neighborhood. And the last thing I'll say is, and Ryan pointed to this earlier, DYCD, we love Department of Aging, and we're all about intergenerational communication and experience. And so the practical wisdom that you have, that you want to impart to young people, we want to put young people in front of you and make sure that that is happening. So thank you.
So we should look at specifically to see, those who have, these technical skills, that we could do a partnership of the space. Now, talking about South Shore, now they closed yes.
Okay, I just retired from Vested Access VR. Okay, I worked there for 19 years. And presently, even before I retired, there was a problem in sending our consumers for training. Because what we have noticed is that most of the training schools have closed. And so, with our concern at this table here, what do we do with the young kids? What do we do with the younger, not kids, with the younger population? If the older population is unable to gain training, then how are we preparing our younger ones for the future?
100%. You're 100% right. So let's specifically look into, where's Tommy? Tommy, so let's find out about South Shore. Was it closed? Because we were doing just the opposite. We were opening schools for just that, what you're saying. We were saying that if people are willing to bring their skills, we should be opening schools without charging you. We should not be charging you for security. We should not be charging you for maintenance. You should be able to use that space for free because that is your space. So let's find out. Can you call Melissa and now find out the chancellor, find out what's happening with that so I can let her know before I bounce?
Mr. Mayor, let me add one thing. The other thing you said just now, while you said training for older adults, right, as well. So just so everyone knows, we've got a few different programs that operate by the Department for the Aging. If you're a retired city worker, the mayor launched the program called Silver Stars, and that is supposed to retain good talent in our city. Right? Retirement means many things these days. One of the things it means is sometimes you're not done yet. You just may not want to work 50, 60 hours a week, but you still have time to give. So our Silver Stars program is one. We have a Silver Core program that we have going right now as well. And then there's a foster grandparents program. So for those of you who are really interested in making sure you're coaching, mentoring, supporting the younger folks, that is another program that we have available. So I love that you want to continue giving. We'll make sure that information via Paul and our website gets to you, and that if you're interested, you could sign up.
Good stuff, good stuff. Go to the next table.
Okay.
Did we skip this table here?
Yes, these two tables over here. Yes, yeah, because there's so many.
Okay.
Yeah. This question is regarding safety, okay? So what measures will be taken to foster a safer environment for residents? And one of those specific details was there's no lighting in the corner of Vandalia that was mentioned as well. And also Bayview housing, there's like people are feeling unsafe there, right? So do you want to ask a question? She wants people to be safe in the streets.
Yes, no, so
Yes.
true. Now, there's no lighting. The lighting is out, or there was never a light that was there? Who has the question about Vandalia?
Out. It's out.
It's out?
She feels unsafe, right?
Okay, DOT. Who do I have? Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I got it. Vandalia and right here at the corner.
Yes.
We'll take care of it.
Okay. No, don't clap yet. When? When? That's what we want to know. We're going to clap after we get the win. How long is it going to take to fix it? Okay. Where's our center director?
Sorry, we have another question over
Yeah,
here.
okay, we're gonna come over there, but we got
Yes.
we gotta pin down agency people. Where's the center director? Okay, so make sure you connect with DOT so we could. Okay, yep. Make sure she called, 'cause we gotta make sure we answer the question. All right. So he's gonna find out what's wrong with it. He's gonna give you a win. Yeah. Huh? Okay, so we got to do a couple of things then. We have to trim the trees. All right, Tommy.
Thank you, my
Department of Parks. So we don't have parks.
We got parks here today.
Oh,
as
we
well.
got parks. Okay.
Yep. So
Yeah.
parks, DOT, trim the trees, make sure the light gets on, and they'll make sure they connect with Paul as well as the center director.
Okay. All right. Yes. So they're going to call you and notify you when they're going to get the light fixed, and we're going to trim the trees over in the area. Okay. Thank you very much. What was that? You said there was another one? Safety. Talk to me, PD. Who's going to do it? You, Inspector? Tell me the safety concern. Tell me the safety concern. We're seeing a substantial decrease in the major crimes in the city. Commissioner Tisk, Deputy Mayor Daughtry, that's here. So tell me the safety concerns, and Commissioner Stewart, you may want to talk about some of the stuff that you're doing. Yeah. Who had the safety concern? Huh?
Oh, sorry. You can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Another safety concern was the locks on the door.
I'm sorry, the what?
The locks on the doors.
Where
where exactly? Front and the back of the entrance. Front and the back of the building.
Of the buildings here?
In the buildings.
Bayview projects.
Oh, Bayview houses. Come on, Nitya, talk to me, Nitya. How are you doing? Yeah, you know, that is such an aggravating issue for Nitya and for many of us. Folks don't have their keys, they break the doors, they keep pulling them, and you repair them over and over and over again. It's such a major issue. But can we talk about Bayview in particular?
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
So I will definitely look into the Bayview issue. This is definitely one of the concerns that we take seriously. We actually, in operations, put together a team, man-made team of people to go around and just check all the lobby doors at our developments that have the most outages. And the team actually goes out and checks the doors. If they can fix it on the spot, they do it right away. But if not, we have to, seek out a vendor to kind of fix it. But I will definitely look into Bayview because I don't see you guys on my radar.
Okay, we're going to get over to Bayview and find out.
Thank you.
All right?
Sir?
Where are we? How are you, ma'am?
Good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon.
Nice meeting you, sir.
Thank you.
My question is, what there is New York doing for the elderly housing system?
And I want you to talk. Who I have HBD in the house? Okay. Housing is the biggest issue. Not only housing, but we want it to be affordable. We use this term all the time. What we inherited. We inherited a 1.4% vacancy rate. Now, what does that mean? Available housing units. We only had 1.4% of available units. So when we came in office, we said we had to build more housing and renovate more housing. So when you do an analysis of individual years, in year 1, year 2, we're going to do it in year 3, we built and renovated more housing in individual years in the history of the city. We have more housing that we have built and developed more than the 12 years of Bloomberg, more than the 8 years of de Blasio combined. And then we passed this housing reform, the most comprehensive ever in the city, that we said every neighborhood must build more housing. And you can't just say just certain neighborhoods. And we want to make sure that we continue to build, and we want to drill into senior housing because it's important and it needs to be affordable in the manner that it is. Let have the microphone, but I'm going to let HBD speak. You come on with your question again. But HBD, let's talk about what we're doing on senior housing.
Yeah, definitely. So piggybacking off what the mayor said, I just wanted to let folks know that all housing that's developed in the city, all affordable housing that's developed in the city, is for all income ranges and all age ranges as well. All of our units are adaptable and can be used by seniors as well. But, I just want to highlight just a couple of things. We have a program at HPD called our SARA program, and that's a program that's specifically for the development of new construction, senior-specific and senior-focused housing. And right here in East New York, we have a SARA project called Gateway 26A. That's about 190 units of senior-specific housing. And that is going to be up on Housing Connect. Housing Connect is our gateway to allow folks in the community and in the city to connect to the affordable housing that we're producing. And if folks have specific Housing Connect questions. Again, I'm up here and you can come and grab me and we can talk through that. But we have that project, and we also have another project called 581 Grant Avenue, which is now this is for new construction development, but as I said, new construction units are also available and open to our seniors as well. So we have one senior-specific project here in the community. We also have another affordable housing project coming on, and those two projects together, East New York is going to see, in relatively soon, about 400 units of new affordable housing coming into the neighborhood. And I'm also available here to speak on other initiatives that we have as well.
We have to build more. That's the only way. We have an inventory problem. We don't have enough units. We would put units online. Let's say we would build housing 300-400 units. We get 80,000 applications for it. That's how the lack of housing. We have to build more. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I'm living in East New York.
Yes.
And every time I drive around, and please send somebody out to do that inventory, sir. Because you have a lot of buildings in East New York. Go Pitkin. A lot of buildings is boarded up. That can be used for people to get into.
Right.
A lot.
So
the
let us.
business down the bottom going, but upstairs, 2, 3, 4 flights.
That are boarded. When you say boarded up, they have
Yes.
Okay, let us look.
They're
I'm not
vacant.
aware. Now, when someone develops housing and they want to build higher than they are allowed to do, that gives us leverage, because then we compel them to attach affordable housing, either 20 or 30%. Now, if it's a privately owned property, we can't mandate them to do anything with it. We're not in charge of that. We are in charge of city-owned property, or if people want to build higher than they are allowed to build.
Well, send out the words.
Talk.
Send out the words that these people will use up these houses, these buildings, because they are just boarded up.
Yes.
And people need place to live, and at an affordable price.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what's your name, man? You tell me.
Leela Hepburn.
Hepburn?
Yes.
When I see them, I'm going to tell you, Miss Hepburn said, open those darn doors.
Yeah.
Take that board down. And make sure I tell them that. You know, Commissioner, talk about some of the safety. I want to go back to safety and what you have done around safety.
Yes, hello. So let's go back a little bit. The mayor and I came out to the cabinet together in 1984. He's older than me. We've been doing this for 41 years, and the mission has never changed: public safety and community. When we first started, I didn't realize we didn't have an older adult officer in each precinct. Within 4 months, Commissioner Vasquez and I and Ryan put together, you have a community affairs officer in every precinct and every PSA. The two here are Turan and Sexton. I hope you guys know them. You should know them. You know them? You got me nervous because I was going to get rid of them. No, I don't want to take her from you. Believe me. No, they're going to stay. But they're here for you. If you're a victim of a crime, if you need a ride to the hospital, we are the liaison between older aging. So, and I don't care if you want to play bingo. Go and see them, say hello to them, go to the precinct. They're here for you. And I understand that because I'll probably be there soon too. So we got to make sure we get this right. We also, just in the 7-5, we did 16 crime prevention initiatives. Amongst our older adults, the scams are the biggest crimes we have going. And I don't know if we did one in this center, but if we didn't, we'll talk to them and get one done. My mother was a victim of a scam twice, and I talk to her every day. You know, so it can happen. And the problem that when it happens, even my mother, she was embarrassed to come tell me. But if you don't tell us, we can't help you. So do not feel embarrassed. Just like we have jobs, they have jobs to scam you and take your money. So, and just in Brooklyn North alone, we did 132 initiatives, crime prevention. Very important. And we also know we do our self-defense classes. Now, a lot of you are still flexible because I saw some of the videos, and you do really well, really well. And we go out to our older adult homes, and we bring our jazz band. And again, you guys don't like jazz. You like hip-hop. You like disco. Jazz is not the answer. So we are definitely working with you. And just for some of the references that the mayor and I, when he took over, we sat down with a plan. He wanted me to change community affairs, our youth. When I came in, we were doing a lot of basketball. I have nothing against basketball, but I think our kids deserve a little more. We started an aviation program with the police department. We did 6 classes already, and we go into neighborhoods who never have the opportunity, these kids, to have aviation courses. We started a real estate program for our kids, too. We had our first kid just got his real estate he's certified. He's 18. We started a harbor unit for our kids. They work with the police department. Harbor is it, but you know what? We have to gain that relationship back in our community, in our police department, that they can trust us. We lost that somewhere along the line, but we have to keep coming back, build a relationship. Relationship is just like a marriage. I've been married for 39 years. Oh, no, don't clap to that. No, don't clap to that. It's been some ups and downs. And that's the way it's always going to be in a relationship with our communities. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. But guess what? There's no divorce. You're going to be here and we're going to be here. So we have to have a conversation, not a confrontation. So we're here to help you, our community affairs officers. Thank you.
You inspired me with those 39 years, man. It's time for me to get married. Where we going? Yeah, no, trust me, I see my girl. I'm going to do this side, and I'm going to bring up our amazing assemblywomen. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Carmen, and I know there's a problem with affordable housing.
Yes.
My problem is how can we address the problems of homelessness and mental health issues?
How do we do? I'm sorry.
How can we address the problem of homelessness and mental health issues with affordable housing? Because it seems to me, or appears to me, this is my opinion, there is an oversaturation of homelessness and mental health issues in certain areas of the city. How can we redirect this problem to other issues, other areas of the city?
Yeah, and we have. And what we found when I got elected, we did an analysis of where homeless shelters were located, and they were disproportionately located in certain communities. And we shared with the city council people that you need to speak to your colleagues because you can't have a one-sided homeless problem in the city. And we attempted to spread it out so that everyone can share the burden. But at the same time, we don't want to be in a permanent housing people in homeless shelters, particularly dormitory-type settings. What we have done, we have transitioned more people out of homelessness into permanent housing and supportive housing more than any other administration in the history. And we had to build. It took 40 years for us to build the homeless shelter initiative in the city. Within 1 year, we had to build an entirely new initiative with the 237,000 migrants and asylum seekers. Folks, we were getting 4,000 people a week, 8,000 every 2 weeks. You do the math. It was unbelievable what this administration and team was able to do with a crisis of that magnitude. Now, when you deal with mental health, you're right. We have too many people with severe mental health illness that are on our streets. January and February of 2022, when I got elected, I went out and visited people in tents and encampments and cardboard. I saw people living in human waste, stale food, drug paraphernalia, schizophrenic behavior, bipolar behavior. And I told the team, we can't live this way. And you may not have noticed it, but we cleaned up all the encampments that you saw in this city, on the side of highways, in the subway stations, living in various parks areas. We cleaned them up. And we said that there's no dignity in walking by someone that you know is dealing with a severe mental health illness. Now, what do we need? We need the power of doing what's called involuntary removal. If you can't take care of yourself and you are in danger to yourself and you're in danger to others, then we have to be able to take you in for care. And we're fighting to get that. We passed the bill in Albany thanks to our assemblywoman. I just saw my senator sitting here, but we need to go further and ensure if you can't take care of yourself and you're in danger to yourself, you're in danger to others. You walk in the street with no shoes on at 20 degrees, soiled clothing, yelling and screaming to yourself in our subway system or on your blocks. We need to take you in for care. That's the humane way to do it. There's no dignity in walking by and say this person should have the option, should they go in for care or not. They don't know they need care. And we should do that, and that's what we're doing in this administration, but it's a real battle. You want to say something else, ma'am?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Because the mental health issue affects us seniors.
Yes.
Because we cannot go out there in the community with this situation around us because we don't know what they're going to do to us.
Well said.
We can't
well
really
said.
defend ourselves sometimes.
Well said. And I don't want you to live that way. I want to take a pause because I see my two amazing state elected Assemblywoman Nikki Lucas and Senator Roxanne Prasad. You guys want to say hello to your constituencies? Look at this. See how kind they are? They both point to each other.
Senator, I'm coming back with a mic. Hold on.
Well, hi again, everyone. I'm back on the mic. So, Mr. Mayor, thank you for being here. Thank you for having this conversation with our older adults. It's a conversation that needed to be had, and they needed to see the faces of the administration who will have an impact on the issues that affect them directly. And based on the questions that they've put together, I know that they are appreciative of you being here so that they can ask these questions. I want to make sure that they understand that this is not a one-off, right? If you have your questions and your questions are being answered, you have to hold us all, every level of government, accountable. So make sure you get the answers and you get the results that are promised, right? We're not God, at least I am not God. So I never promise or overpromise, but what we all tell you, we will do the best to ensure that we address the issues that are affecting you. And hence, this is why the entire team is here today. So please utilize this opportunity to have your issues addressed and make sure that there's follow-up. So to all of you, ask your questions. Do not be afraid to speak up, because if you're not speaking up, they do not know what the issue is that is affecting you. And hence, they're here today to answer your questions. So again, thank you all for being here today.
Thank you. Well said. Go, Nikki. Go, Nikki.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, I'm coming up front. I'm a little shorter than the senator. So first of all, good afternoon to everyone. Now y'all know how I do, so I'm gonna try this again. Good afternoon to everybody. All right, that's what I'm talking about. I'm Assemblywoman Nikki Lucas, for those who I have not gotten the opportunity to meet, and I do cover this district, which is the 60th Assembly District, and it includes East New York, Canarsie, Brownsville. First, I want to start out by thanking Mayor Adams. This is not a one-off because he's been here numerous times, and numerous times to provide resources, not just lip service. I can attest to that. Y'all know how I am with folks. I support those who support the community, and if they don't, I don't mess with them, right? I mess with Mayor Adams. Not in a way that some of y'all might be thinking. So watch your minds. But I do want to say thank you so much. And I have to say this in every space that we're in. You endured a lot. Okay, you endured a lot unjustly. And it's important for us to recognize those who have been consistent with this community and investing in this community the way that we need it. And through all of what you endured, you managed to manage this entire city while dealing with whatever your turbulence was as well. So for that, I thank God for covering you, for being in your life, and for putting you in position to help faces of East New York that were typically voiceless in the past. And one of the things I wanted to make sure, I bugged you several nights. Mayor, tune it out. Just focus on what you've done for this city. All of the things that you have done for different communities and including a diverse community of people, right? When it came to contracts for MWBEs, right? Over so many more Black people got contracts as a result of your administration, right? The educational plan that you put in for our kids so that they can have options and pipeline to education, higher education, as well as careers. Those are the things that keep our seniors safe because it makes sure that they are in a position to do other things other than crime, right? Thank you so much for all of the programming when I first got in office, for your willingness just to work with me as a state elected. The first thing, you were the first person that put something in this community when I came into office, which was to rebuild that Thomas Jefferson Field. That thing had been dilapidated for over 15 years. You did that, right? So I can go on and on about the number of accomplishments that you've done in a short period of time, as well as the things that you have done while going through what you've gone through. You are top notch. You never quit, and you deserve to be in the space that you're in, and I could care less what anybody else is saying about that. So just again, thanking y'all for being here, always supporting this community, being true partners, calling me in real time. Half of y'all, most of y'all got my cell phone number in here. Why? Because I tell you to call me. Sometimes things happen in the middle of the night, like the elevator going out at 11:70 the other night, right? I got the phone calls. So thank y'all for being real-time ambassadors with our offices. Continue to call. That's the only way we are able to know what's going on in real time. I don't want y'all suffering in silence. I tell you that all the time. I don't care if it's my office that directly handles it. The beauty about this district is that all of us, the senator, the congressman, I see the congressman's office here, Frida Manos. We work collectively with the mayor of New York so that we can finally get things done in an efficient, a real-time fashion. But that is because of your partnership and your real-time response with us. So I applaud you, and I ask you to please keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Mayor, once again for coming out and investing in these communities. And let me tell y'all something else. Stop allowing people to feed us a narrative when we know better. Okay? Stop allowing other people to feed us a narrative when we know better. All right? Because at the end of the day, we are usually the ones pushed back on the totem pole. He's given us an opportunity so that we are not. So we got to invest in people that invest in us. Thank you, Mayor, once again.
Love it.
Love you. Love y'all.
Where's our next table? Speaking of 24/7, the Assemblywoman called me on New Year's Eve, I think an hour before the ball dropped. She was on the ground because there was a fire in the community and the people were displaced. And she was just navigating, while other people were waiting to celebrate the New Year's, she was lifting up the folks who were displaced. And we got food over there to them. I think we opened a center that had to be open, and the people were able to go inside and make sure that they were stabilized. That is an around-the-clock representative, and I'm sure the people appreciated what you did that day. Yes, Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm Mr. Mayor.
Being an OG, got your Kango, you know what I'm saying?
My name is Larry Barton, and I'm the Resident Association President of Vandalia.
Okay.
Right. I'm listening to all the questions, but I want to deal with us.
Yes.
Right. We have a situation on the corner here, Vandalia and Louisiana. Right. This complex, we have a back door that you can go out, and it goes straight across the street to the supermarket. Right. But there's no lights or stop sign or nothing, and the cars come down Louisiana and they come out the parking lot. So we can't get across the street. We have to like wave them to get through. Now the light is on Louisiana Avenue. So we would have to come out the building and walk all the way down to the corner and cross over to get there.
Is there a crosswalk there at the other location?
No.
Okay.
Right? And the other problem is that when it rains, that whole corner floods, and we can't even get up the block. So the only time we can get is to go straight out the back door, and we can't get across the street.
Got it.
That's our major problem.
Got it. TOT, talk to me.
I will send somebody out here Monday to check that out. But we have to wait till it rains again before I can get somebody to actually see it, to see why the water's not moving. So as soon as it rains, the very next day, someone will be here.
We got people here that got pictures, right?
Do what?
Right.
Hold on. Let's hear it.
No, I'm not. I know it ponds because you wouldn't have told me if it didn't. What I'm saying is our engineers have to actually see the water and see why it's not moving. Right. And once we see why it's not moving, then we can get an opportunity of how to fix it.
So who do we talk about getting a stop sign or something?
That's me too.
That's you too?
That's
we
me
can't
too.
get across the street to the supermarket. Thank you.
All you got to do is give me a call and we'll take care of that. All right? Well, all right.
That's how that works. Thank you.
So we're gonna. What he's saying is that we got for the rain part. We're going to look at, wide ponds. We have to look at it. We don't know if it's the sewer is not flowing. We don't know if the pitch. So we're gonna analyze it. For the stop signs part, they normally do these long studies for stop signs. But can we look at it and see if they do studies based on all this sophisticated highway stuff? I said the only study we need to do. Does the community feel they need it? If they feel they need it, that's enough study for me. So let them look at it, and we're going to circle back. And you got his card, and he got your card.
Thank you.
What happened to this table? Okay. How are you, ma'am?
Okay, so far.
Okay. You want to talk in the mic so they can hear you?
I'm sorry. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Izor Rahman. I'm also on the group that Larry is on. I'm the secretary. And what I'm questioning is in the front of the building when you come in, we have benches out there. Now, benches were supposedly been repaired by housing, but they're in a form that is so short when you when you sit on it, it is very hard for a senior to rise up off of it. And for the last year, we've been going to them to try to repair this, as well as the border wood that's around us having all kinds of ants and bugs coming out of that would endanger people's health and everything. So I'm just trying to find out whether or not we could get any assistance with it.
And that is such an interesting point you raised, because DOT is doing these walk through the community with older adults to see what roadways we need to repair. Because you have to view the city through the eyes of those who use the city. Mm-hmm. And someone that probably installed the bench didn't even realize that, hey, when you make it low like that, that's a lot that it goes through to get up. So talk to me, Nitya. Are you aware of it?
Actually, no, I'm not. But I will definitely do my research to try to get you an answer on how we are going to repair.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
We'll get back.
So we listen.
Housing is aware of it.
No, she said she was
I know,
specific.
but they don't.
Yeah.
They didn't get to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. We're gonna look at that. Go ahead. Okay.
Yes, a vendor came out and saw the benches. Okay, sorry. Hi, I'm the manager. I'm Miss Barry. Most have met me from Mandalia. But yes, a vendor came out. They already scoped the benches, and they are willing to do it. We're trying to get it before Family Day. So before August 16th, sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. So the manager heard you last night in your sleep. And you're gonna come here. So we're gonna replace those benches. That's what we want. I see you, ma'am. I'm not gonna forget you, okay? Yes. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor.
How are
glad
you?
you're
Good to
here.
see you.
To,
Talking to the mic.
I'm glad you're here so we can ask the questions that's important for you to know from us. What are your intentions of bringing more hospitals to the area? Because every time we turn around in this area, the hospitals are closing. I was in Brookdale last week and this week. The ophthalmologist went from eye doctor to medical doctor. The people was laying all in the corridors and everything. Linden Boulevard, the service lane, you couldn't get through because ambulance was backed up. And I said to the head of hospitals, the hospital man in there, he said, there's nothing I could do about it because when they call now, they have to come to the local hospital, and this is the local hospital. Kingsbrook closed down as well as downstate. And we have one hospital. And, I'm looking at myself, 75 years old. When I call an ambulance, should I consider staying home or go to the hospital? Because that's where they're going to take me. So that's my main concern.
Yeah, so we understand we have 11 city hospitals, health and hospitals. We have 11. We have not closed any of them. All 11 is still operating. When you look at downstate, when you look at the others, those are state hospitals. They're state hospitals. And some of our state hospitals have been closing. Downstate has not closed yet. There's a real battle that the senator and the assemblywoman and others are fighting to keep downstate open because you're right. You need the care. We have Kings County, which is across the street, which is city. It's still operating. And if you close downstate, you're going to overburden Kings County. And you're going to overburden some of the other hospitals in the area. So it's a real concern. And we've been fighting like heck to keep our hospitals open. Not only is it important for medical care, but it's one of the number one employees in an area. So the economic impact is crucial as well. But we're going to fight like heck to keep downstate open. Okay? Where am I? How are you, ma'am?
Hello, Eric.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, old time. Okay. I worked with Eric in 1981.
Wow.
Room 100, criminal court.
Love it. I was in the district attorney's office as a clerk.
Office, right, with Kim, me, Fletcher, right.
You know, you were a cutie back then, you still a cutie.
Hey. Okay, I didn't think I was going to ever get this old where I have to come and, 'cause I don't like old people because I'm old. My question is this.
Yes.
What are the changes that will affect us, older adults, regarding Medicare, Medicaid, and co-payments?
Right.
Now, I know a lot of people, when you work for the city, we are not like the other people because of our union. But what about those that have to really suffer, where where you're living on a fixed income, okay, a fixed income, and you have to go to the doctor and you don't have the money to pay for it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's my question. What are you
Right,
going to do
right.
about that?
Do we have the impact? We're still doing an analysis of the impact of the federal cuts, but this city, and we want to be clear, this city will never become a city where you can't have health care. That's why we have 11 city hospitals. There's never going to be a city where you're not going to be able to have health care in the city of New York. As long as we have city hospitals, your tax dollars pay for those city hospitals, you will have health care. But can we talk about the impact?
So there's no doubt there's going to be changes, but within the city, we are, as an agency, working with different other agencies as well as the health and hospital systems. There is a program called New York City Cares, NYC Care, which will give free insurance to all who do not have insurance. Now, it's not an insurance program, but you do get a card, you do get free medications, and you do get consultation from the physicians. So there will always be support in New York City.
Yes. And that's not to say these cuts are not going to hurt, because they are. But we're going to make sure New York City residents always have some form of health care coverage. Yes, ma'am. You were raising your hand for some time.
Yes.
I told you I'm not going to forget you.
Yes. I'm from 17 Thomasina, and we have a serious problem here with the elevators. Our elevator in 17 and 77. It's always just, it's never working properly. Every other week, one of them is out or either both is out. On election, both building elevators was out. And at 11 o'clock at night, I worked the board, and I had to walk up. My son came down. That's why I'm not saying that, because I'm handicapped. But came up and had to come here and walk me up to the 8th floor. And I'm on a scooter, and I had to leave my scooter down in the lobby. And we have a serious problem here with the elevators in both buildings. We need new elevators.
Are these under NYCHA? Tell me the story. Do we have a history of a problem with the elevators here?
Well, I know that as of late, we've been having issues due to the weather as far as the outages is concerned in most of our NYCHA locations. We've been having low voltage. We still have several developments that have low voltage, and we still have stair climber service. So during those issues, we do put together a stair climber watch to assist the residents up and down the elevator. Now, as far as at Vandalia itself, I can't say that I've seen that on my ESD alert, but I will look into it with the elevator division and find out exactly what is the issue here at Vandalia.
I assume we keep a list of reported outages or repairs.
Yes.
Are we seeing a pattern with these two elevators?
I haven't seen a pattern. No.
Okay.
Because I normally get it through the ESD alerts, and I haven't seen Vandalia on that alert system that frequent. But we recently have experience in low voltage in most of our developments during the heating outage emergency recently, and we had to prepare stair climber service throughout several of our developments. And we still have 2 locations that's under that, but I haven't seen Vandalia as one.
Okay, just
hold on one moment. I'm gonna come back to you, ma'am. The Assemblywoman, she was gonna speak, and I'm gonna come back to you. Give it back to Mike.
So I think that we need to take a look at the development that's happening at CCC as well, because the transformer went out the other day. And I'm not sure in their original assessment of the energy that's being pushed on that grid, if it can actually hold, it has capacity. Because that's what happened the other day. I didn't realize that it was affecting the entire lot, but it is affecting 1777. I know it affected 1170. I haven't heard anything about 99 and 1180. But I think it may have also, in addition to the weather, have something to do with the capacity over there as well. But I'd like to add that in addition to the elevators going down, if the tenants could just receive better notice about what's happening, that would be greatly appreciated. And then also, if they were clear
about an emergency plan that's put in place when these things happen. And I don't think that that exists at this particular time. So I would like to see more of that.
That was what was that? There was a terminology you used when the elevators go out. You said
Elevator outages and the stair climbers?
Yeah, what is that? What's that?
So the stair climber assistance, we have some staff that's trained on using the stair climbers in certain developments. Well, every development pretty much have them, but there's two different types where they help residents up the stairs during an outage, and the maximum capacity of that is like 350 pounds. And the staff that's trained, once called upon in the lobby, we find out if they needed assistance in the lobby. The staff then help the residents up the stairs.
Give it back to Mike. Go ahead, ma'am.
I want to say it's not only during the time, when the transformer in the election. It's all the time. It's not only during the heat wave, in the winter too. The elevators are always out, the senior buildings.
Okay.
So let us look at it. Let us look at it, ma'am. Let's look, because all of these elevators, when they go out, they have to have a repair log. They have to see how long they've been down, when they've gone down. Let us look at it and see what that pattern is over there. Okay? Because I can tell you are fired up over there.
One time I had to go to the emergency room.
I got you.
Sleep overnight because I couldn't get up to the 8th floor.
Okay, I got you. So let us look and see what the pattern is, okay?
I just want to mention also that we do have an outage page open to the public where you can see which elevators or whatever outages, gas outages, elevator outages on the NYCHA website as well.
Well, that's very important because that goes back to what the Assemblywoman stated. Yeah. So there's a page that you can see.
The NYCHA website service outage page.
Okay, so we need to navigate the people through how to go on that page, look at that page, and this way they can know ahead of time. Because folks just want to plan, Yep. So if we can speak to the director, Karen, to just do a workshop with navigating folks how to look at that page. All right. Where am I? You're good? How are you, ma'am?
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm Dr. Sybil DeVoe, and I have two questions from this chair.
Yes.
I'm Jamaican.
Saddest day of my life is I realized I wasn't Jamaican because I grew up in Jamaica, Queens.
We'll give you a visa. I can straighten that for you. She'll marry you. Anyhow, I have two questions.
Yes.
The first one, Ms. Marianne submitted. It says Cypress Hills, to be precise, numbers 2535 and 2525. They're in deplorable conditions. Can we rely on you to address the situation?
Let's drill.
Cypress Hills housing. NYCHA.
Oh, yeah, now when you say...
NYCHA.
You've been busy today. When you say, what was the numbers again? I think I'm going to play those numbers.
2535 and 2525.
Got it. So now when you say deplorable conditions, what is it? What?
They refer to those particular buildings as New Jack City.
Interesting. I'm going to, Tommy, just take the address. I'm going to take a trip over there and let me see exactly what's going on over there.
In my opinion, it's more of a supervision type of thing.
Uh-huh.
If the supervisor would come and check, because I work for housing myself.
Okay.
For 24 years. And it's more of a supervisor type
Got
of
it.
situation. Supervisor would come and check, we wouldn't have this.
Right. So I'm going to do, if I can get your number, I'm going to do a advertise, not let anyone know, and I'm going to call you up and I'm going to come and just walk through with me. Let me see exactly what's going on over there. All right? Tommy's going to get your information and we'll coordinate it, over the weekend. Okay? Thank you. Yeah, hold on one more. Is it connected to this? I want her to finish your question. Then we come to you. Okay, I'm going to come to you then. Let's finish your question, okay? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, your number 2.
Okay. I voted for you the last election.
You're a smart woman.
I'm buttering you up for this one. Can you promise that New York...
Talking to the mic so the people across can hear you.
Can you promise that New York City will continue to maintain its status as a sanctuary city when you return as mayor? This is yes or no.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And so, folks, let's understand what sanctuary city is, because people have been throwing that terminology around. So I want you to really understand what it is. It's not a law. It's not a law. It's a concept that states if you are in New York, you have a right to receive the services of New York. So if you walk in the store and you buy a bottle of water, right? You pay taxes for that. Those taxes go to the delivery of your services. It goes to the Department of Education, the fire department, the police, all the things that go with those taxes you have a right to. So a person who's paying taxes, we're not doing them a favor by saying you have a right to the services. They're doing us a favor by paying their taxes. And so in New York City, it doesn't matter if you're documented or undocumented. If you need the police, you call the police. They're not going to ask you for your documentation status. If you need to go to the hospital, you go to the hospital. If you have a child, that child get educated in school. That's what sanctuary city means, that you are entitled to all the services of this city while you're in the city, regardless of your documentation. When you walk into a store to buy a loaf of bread, no one is saying, let me see your papers. You know, they take in the dollars that's attached to it. So we will always be a city that you can get your services without having to worry about your status. Now, with that said, if you are coming here like this Venezuelan gang and you are robbing, shooting, forcing women into prostitution, carrying guns, shooting at police officers, you need to get the hell out of here. You know, I want to be clear on that. You know, this is not a safe haven for criminal behavior. It's a safe haven for all that would like to experience the American dream, because our immigrant community has played a vital role in this city throughout generations. And so those who want to come here and say we want to provide and work for the city and move up through the city and be part of the dream, you're more than welcome. We're not going to stop you from doing so. But those who want to harm New Yorkers and non-New Yorkers, that Venezuelan gang we took down, 27 gang members, they were taking the documents of women and forcing them into prostitution. We can't coddle them. And we can't say they can stay here, because they can't. I don't want them here. There was somebody over here that someone's coming to. Yes, ma'am. Yes, okay.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
I am coming to you in desperation.
Okay.
I live in Canarsie, and there are 2 trees in front of my house. One is leaning over into the street, and one is leaning over into the 2 houses behind it. I am desperate. I sent, I called up 311, and 311 sent me back to the police department. The police department said, no, we have nothing to do with that. Where do I go? The last time it attacks the plumbing, so it backs up in the basement. It cost between me and my insurance company over $16,000 years ago. But the fact is, I still have to go down every night to check to see if there's a backup. Please.
Yes. Talk to me, Paul.
I need help.
Tell me about that. What happens when the tree?
Yeah, I can speak a little bit about
it. Okay. Okay, I feel you.
Absolutely. So I can speak with you a little bit, Miss. I could get your address and look into the condition of the tree. You're a homeowner, I'm guessing, and is the tree is right in front of your house?
Right in front, there are 2, one on this side. In addition to that, the only good thing about it is that every morning I have to get up and clean up the leaves.
Okay.
I'm bending over cleaning leaves. And I usually rationalize and say, at least I'm getting some exercise. That's the only good thing. But I am scared.
Yeah. What happens when it's a private-owned location? Is the owner responsible for the trees, or is it?
So the city owns the tree. There's some collaboration with the Parks Department that we could look into. I could certainly speak with her afterwards about 311 requests, and certainly I'd like to get a little bit more information that I could speak with her afterwards.
They definitely should not have sent you back to the police department. That was
Certainly
unacceptable.
Certainly not.
Unacceptable. So the Parks, he's going to connect with you.
Absolutely.
He's going to connect with you before we leave and find out where the tree is located. Okay. Okay, we're going to do one more. I'm going to do that. But
how are you, Mr. Mayor? I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank you. My name is Barbara Armour. I have a question. It's a little selfish. I live on Vermont Street, and we are needing a speed bump that we've been advocating for a while, years, I believe. Can we get a speed bump on Vermont? Because someone got killed on the corner of New Lots in Vermont. So we really need to take that into consideration.
Yes, thank you. Did you hear it?
I'm just writing it down. What I will do first thing in the morning is find out. You said Vermont New Lots? 700 block. I will find out if we've done an inspection of that particular location, and if we haven't, I will put one in tomorrow. No, I will put in we have to do a study to see if it can be a speed bump. Yes, you can, and I'll give you my number. Yes, I will.
Okay, so listen, I got to bounce, but we handed out these magnetic emergency notification card. It was something that Mother used. You can put it on your fridge, wherever you want, because normally if you're going through a medical emergency, it takes a long time for the responding police or EMS to get the basic information. So please fill it out, put it on your fridge. This way, we can easily notify your family members, your loved one, your emergency contact, and ask if you have any medication that you're using, if you're allergic to anything, and it's very useful and helpful information, okay? Listen, appreciate you all over the place today. Thank you so much. Thanks to the team for coming in.